Baldur's Mount edition. Oh, dynamite. That Lord Gortash should have his own column. Never mind just an interview. Cheery, isn't it? Don't you know there's a war on?
It's precisely in times of trouble.
Evaluation is harmless. It will make no sudden moves, and no one gets hurt. Amicus Animalis.
Hold, Seeker! Have you come to swear yourself to Sorcerous by my paw? Yes, and no. Your kind has lost their way in their worship of the feline of Felicity. You only hold to her basest tenets. Now, will you heed our mother's call and bolster her as she crushes the heathen absolute beneath her divine paw? Yes, yes! Together we shall spread the word of the wonder in her every paw step. I will sing her name in the streets, and you will bring her prayers to those suffering 2 legs instead of 4.
Look, Mama, look! It's so pretty.
Out of my face!
Stand up. You're slouching.
Let me back in. I'll bring Loroakin out here, you tin tube. You tell Loroakin I went for his goddamn night song, and now he has to pay up. What are you looking at? Shit, it's you. You went looking for the night song after me. Please tell me you found it. Loroakin, the wizard who set out the contract, he owns this place. And his little page boy inside knows how to get to him. Loroakin said it'd be easy money. A smash and grab. Get in, get the night song, go. Turns out his little relic was in a temple of Shah, beneath an army of goblins. Would never have taken my people in if I'd known. I can't bring them back. But I can make Loroakin cough up. Especially if you found the relic. Anathema. Hells. If I'd known, I'd have asked for more gold. Kidnapping costs more than theft. Don't forget, I'm the one who gave you that contract. I want my cut. Immortal, eh? Interesting. Won't be easy getting her back to the wizard. But if you don't do it, someone else will. Hope you hit her well, mate.
Look, Mama, look! It's so
Whatever magic powers the armor is beyond your knowledge.
Minsk has never trusted places such as this. Too much of a wizard's power can be simply packaged and picked up. Well, picked up by all but Minsk. When he touches the many delicate little jars, oh, how the wizards shout and stare.
Fear not, Minsk. You have a wizard at your side who positively encourages such curiosity. You'll fit right in.
Obliged, wizard. Should we find our way to a weaponsmith, Minsk will rough you up a little, so that you too can fit in.
Find what you're looking for.
No, I did not find what I'm looking for. Did you?
Not a dicky bird. It's really quite disappointing.
Oh, I've a good mind to march up there and speak to Leroica myself.
You might want to be careful. I've heard he's not really one for customer service.
That's why you need appointments.
There's not much left. Looks like folks heard the Absolute was on the march and bought everything that wasn't nailed down.
What do you mean? Where is the famous Leroican? His shop is a nutter shambles. This is ludicrous. My complaint.
Look, a bookseller. She can point us to the tome I need.
One moment. I'm trying to work out how many pinches of mugwort is equivalent to one of Mother's Leaf.
I'm sure you'll manage.
Would you mind if I finished browsing before you muscle in, please? I was here first, actually.
Really should have planted that herb. I have no respect for literature.
Oh, well.
Into the bin where it
Too late
belongs.
for that now, isn't it, dear?
Literature department. Can I help you? Psst. These books are sensitive. They prefer an environment of quiet reverence. Bold. You might have heard that our library has a collection other shops would lack the skill to curate. Between us, even Master Leroican was reluctant to house them in his tower. The pen is mightier than the magic wand, apparently. They're locked away here for their and our customers' safety. Our finest reserve includes the Tharkiot Codex, the Annals of Karsus and Netherese Folly, Sights of the Sea, and the Curriculum of Strategy. Do any of those interest you? It is said to be written by Lord Karsus himself, the Netherese arcanist who attempted to replace the goddess Mystra, failed, and was banished for the attempt. Great magical knowledge lies within those pages, but not many can withstand it.
That's it. That's what I need.
The Annals of Karsus would no doubt have much to say about the crown's true nature. If only you could read them.
Buy? Books as temperamental as these are not on sale. They are secured in our vault, where none can harm them, nor can they do any harm. Consider yourself lucky to have learned of such a book's existence, and then forget about it. The Annals of Karsus are best left unread. Followers like you are why I prefer the company of books. The only way to gain access to the vault is through my office. And before you ask, no, you are not allowed in there either. You certainly have. Even simple knowledge of these tones is enough to stimulate most.
This is hardly the time for idle banter. The annals of Carsus are here, waiting to be read.
You're a fellow bargain hunter, I see. The hidden gems here are far better value than the rare books Tolna keeps locked behind the desk. I'm sure there's gold in these stacks somewhere. No, this was here last week. I already have 2 copies of this.
For that now, isn't it, dear?
Sundries! I can tell you're a discerning customer. You're after nothing but the best. And luckily for you, that's exactly what I have. The best necromancer.
Newborn zombie gazes at you hungrily, pus drooling from its slack jaw.
High quality. Apologies. I'm with a customer at the moment.
Do you think that zombie looks fresh? Is fresh good? I never know with zombies.
Excuse me, can't stop. There's only so much shopping time left before the absolute breaches the city.
The lava elemental looks at you placidly, near unfathomable heat beating against your face.
Have you seen how much the prices have risen? Might as well be throwing my gold straight into the lava elemental.
Why a lava elemental? I want a pet elemental, but Mumbus says I'm not old enough. I wouldn't let it die like the goldfish, though. If I were a lava...
Water elemental appears to turn towards you, showering everything with a bracing mist.
I've heard he's not really one.
You make a fine point. Very efficient you'd be.
No fish, only chicken, beef, and veggies. No pork either.
I'm sure there's gold in these stacks somewhere. No, this was here last week. You already have 2 copies of one.
How can I help you? Perhaps. I stopped by many huts and hamlets on my way here. Master Leroican invited me to be his apprentice.
I've heard rumors about Leroican's teaching, or lack of it. His students are no more than glorified shopkeepers.
You must be here to shop. I am Sundries, while Tona deals with tomes. Or are you perhaps another adventurer with information on the Night Song? Nothing for you to worry about. It's all I deal with these days. People claiming their trinkets are the real Night Song, looking for the mountain of gold Leroican promised. There's even a pamphlet. Take one. They're on the desk. If you've got information, Master Leroican will want to speak to you immediately. He speaks of almost nothing else than the Night Song's retrieval. Head upstairs to find the way into his tower, but be careful. Mistakes are always punished around here.
I've heard good morning to march up there.
Some people have no respect. Into the bin rack.
Because they're made of fire, darling.
The lava elemental is made of fire. Sting, what's
I'm
in
sure there's
mine?
gold in these stacks somewhere. No.
Anything's I suppose.
What? Be quick about it.
I simply must have it.
If I were a lava elemental, I'd get a job in a restaurant.
Welcome, dear patron, to the floor at the top of the stairs. If you have information about the Night Song, great riches await. If you are here to waste the great wizard Loroakan's time, reconsider. Let your knowledge determine your path forward.
The Night Song is a priceless ruby from a realm beyond our own. The Night Song is an immortal being, the child of a deity.
Well, you're wrong.
The Night Song is an ancient potion that allows its drinker to become irresistibly attractive to man and god alike. The Night Song is a druidic staff that allows its bearer command over an army of ancient beasts.
Never a dull moment.
Hold very still, Nicklaw. Craig's aim is much improved, but still leaves something up to chance.
Yes, sir.
All right, Craig. Ready? Aim. We have a visitor. At ease. McClaw, you may go. I see no Night Song. Surely you wouldn't have entered my tower without the Night Song in hand? Surely you wouldn't have wasted my time? And you must have an answer to my request. If you want to keep your head, of course. The Night Song. Do you have it or not? She? Then you do know her. You've been to Shah's temple. To the Shadowfell. You've looked upon the Night Song's face. Tell me, and choose your next words carefully. Where is she now? I'm growing tired of this repartee, my friend. Let us cut to the chase. Beautiful, isn't it? Worth more than your life, too. I bought it from a Kalashite warlock. There's very little of his soul left to him. It can bind a celestial to the wearer's service with a snap of the fingers. And this can keep her in place. Forever. It didn't work out for poor Ketherick, did it? He was a fool. A desperate mercenary who poured out his soul to whichever god flattered him. I serve no god, but that which stares back at me in the mirror. The Night Song will be put to a grand purpose, equalizing man and god. Whoever helps me attain that which I seek will be greatly rewarded. I intend to achieve greatness. And I intend to do it for a long time.
He would seek the power of gods for the pettiest of reasons. His own gratification. At least I seek them for the better of all.
What's that? I didn't quite catch the words, but the insolent tone was clear enough.
Pitying, not insolent. You chase one power without knowing an even greater one lies within my reach. The crown of Karsus. Once we acquire it, your ambitions will be dwarfed. I'll be able to stand against Mystra and wrest her powers from her for the betterment of all.
The crown of Karsus? Nonsense. Even if it still existed, you couldn't possibly handle its power.
Perhaps you could not. But Netherill's power is in my blood. And Mystra? I know her in ways that most mortals can only dream of.
Ah, so it is you. Mystra's discarded lapdog. And now you think your bark is cause to make me tremble?
There is no need for me to bark. My actions will speak for themselves. In time.
Then go. Act. I'll open a fine vintage in your name, once word of your failure reaches me. We shall see, won't we? Do as I say, and you will be rewarded beyond imagination. fail, and you give up the prize to the next motivated mercenary to encounter my contract. The choice is yours, but make no mistake, I always get what I want.
You'll bring him the night song, won't you? He'll be so very pleased, so very happy if his plans materialize.
Watch your back.
Tricks. With pleasure.
You've set foot in a restricted area. A swift exit may be in order. You've wandered into a forbidden area. You sense it might be time to leave.
I've got a long road ahead.
I'd be a laughing stock with that.
Numbers, I'm bored.
You and I
body. You'd make the rules.
Storage and sorting of scrollwork, parchment, and tomes.
That's curious.
No entry to vaults. Trespassers will be disintegrated. Master Leroican.
What a day. Let's crack it open.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors. Keep your distance, darling. Each door is named for a different dusty wizard. No prizes for guessing which is hiding the annals of Carsus.
Still breathing, despite everything.
How delicious.
No time to rest.
Okay.
Carefully.
Some
Be careful not to trigger that thing.
What now?
No one stopped me yet.
Someone there? Traps. How considerate.
All right, what now? This place is trapped.
Unlock hereby the path to the Carsus Vault.
That took the edge off.
Well, some rest's better than none.
The Annals of Carsus. The preamble to a civilization's downfall, committed to parchment by the very hand that wrought its destruction. If the crown atop the Elder Brain was truly forged by Carsus himself, this book will confirm it. All we have to do is turn the page. And since when have we sought to avoid trouble, eh? Come now. The knowledge lurking between those pages could help us greatly. Don't be a hindrance after being such a great help. That devil Raphael was telling the truth. There's no doubt. The crown of Karsus is what's controlling the Elder Brain. And this is no mere journal. It contains Karsus's original plans for the crown's construction. His designs for godhood. Not exactly. It was what he did with it that sealed his fate, and, for a time, that of magic itself. The crown was merely the means. The book states that the crown and netherstones were originally one construct, seemingly sundered at the moment of Karsus's downfall. If we can collect the crown's setting and the 3 netherstones, and with the correct invocation of certain spells and gestures detailed in these notes, I think I could reforge it. Do not mistake the crown itself for the actions of its wearer, or rather, those controlling its wearer at present. If we could restore its former glory, it would no longer be a mere leash and collar used to subjugate friend or foe. It would be something greater. Something divine. Just think of it. The power of the gods in mortal hands at last would be free of doctrine and dogma, confined only by the limits of our imaginations. I promise you, the gods will never grant us such a blessing, no matter how much we worship and adore them. Then you're already wiser than me. That's a lesson I've only recently learned. I worshipped Mistra loyally for years, and in that time she granted me the barest sliver of the power I was ready to wield. Even with the fate of the world at stake, she had little more to offer me than the means of blowing myself up at a more convenient time. She's done nothing to help us. Mistra wanted the brain obliterated because of this crown. She fears a world in which such power is beyond her control, ready to be claimed by Karsus's successor. Neither of us can know what truly may be if we don't at least try. Potential is nothing in itself. Just a fleeting dream unless we drag it into the waking world. Please, at least think on it. Powerful as he was, Karsus lacks some advantages I can lay claim to. I know Mistra intimately, and I carry a fragment of the weave itself within my body. Karsus achieved many things, but he never managed that. A long road lies ahead before the crown comes into our possession. All I ask for now is that you do not dismiss this possibility out of hand. Please, at least think on it. I see. I suppose I am asking you to take a leap of faith even the most loyal of companions might struggle to land gracefully. Spent so long feeling inferior. Shut out from my destiny over such a simple act of youthful enthusiasm. Perhaps I got carried away with the thought this crown could give me back what Mystra took. Cure me, even. Very well, then. I will try my utmost to share in your optimism. Nothing wrong with a little hope, after all. Whatever comes of this, we cannot allow the crown to be reforged in Raphael's image. A devil wielding the might of Karsus. It would be the end of everything. Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. I hear you've been browsing in the most esteemed of emporiums, Sorcerous Sundries. Indulge my curiosity. What wonders did you discover there? I trusted he would be sensible enough to exercise caution in this matter and to seek the truth. By now, you are aware of the evil we are up against. Karsus' pestilent crown, the very tool with which its eponymous creator unmade an empire and magic itself. Perhaps now you understand what is at stake here, my boy. Though what Mystra asked of you was extreme, it was not without merit, nor demanded lightly.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mystra knows you defied her, Gale. But of course she knows. She's Mystra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last.
Mistra's willing to speak to me again? Was this your doing, Elminster?
She knows what I see in you, just as I know what she sees in you. I was not born an old man. I know all too well what it's like to have a goddess fill your heart with longing. Looking at you is like gazing into a mirror that shows centuries long past.
The past is the past, Elminster. And the future is, well, still to be decided. By me. Not by Mistra.
If there is another way, I trust you can find it. It is not in your nature, or mine, to stop looking, to accept the first answer to any dilemma. Do what you can. Put that mind to work. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave. If you are willing, trust in Mistra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
So all it took to get Mistra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. I think Elminster's last message was the one carrying the punishment. Having respectfully declined it, I think she's willing to negotiate. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. Very well. But it does not serve us to tarry when a summons from the heavens is waiting.
So, Mistress requested a chat with Gale. Unusually polite for a god. I do hope it goes well. We've pissed off enough gods already.
I couldn't help overhearing what Elminster said to Gale. Not every day a god asks for a chat.
Hey, maybe I'm invited too. I can be the muscle.
The mother of all magic, they say. Let us hope Mistra brings Gale good fortunes.
Poor Gale. I hope he knows that a goddess abandoning him needn't be the end. I know from experience.
Mistra wants to meet Gale. Impressive. The only thing a god's ever offered me is a cold shoulder.
Poor Gale. But Mistra is wrong about him. Perhaps he can yet prove that.
Oh, that pointy-headed old fart talks too much. But he has also moved mountains, walked between planes, and dragged himself back from death a dozen times. If he still believes in Gale, the boy should not be overly concerned what his ladylove thinks. Goddess or no.
Goddess or no, it is a fearsome sting to be let down by a lover. And to hear of it from another of her bright birds. It must be difficult for Gale to imagine Great Elminster courting, writing poems, doing certain deeds. It is difficult for Minsk to think of too. Let us speak no more of it. Of Elminster and the sex, I mean. Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Countless tales are told of Boo and Minsk. Many of them are so outlandish that even I do not know if they are true. Did Minsk bravely fend off the seductive vials of a succubus in the cloisters of Candlekeep? Maybe. Did he take a bath in the river Styx and temporarily forget himself? I do not remember. Did he travel with a spawn of the god of murder, who warred against his evil brethren and battled triumphantly at the throne of Baal itself? Of course! It was a splendid adventure. Oh, a curious question. Are a child and his father always alike? Take Minsk. He does not have a clear memory of the face of his father, but he does remember tugging on the thick, red whiskers that sprang from his chin. A beard for the ages. Who could have nested there happily through even the harshest of Rashomon winters? Now, look closely at Minsk, and what do you see? Correct! There are more whiskers on Boo's tiny face than on the mighty chin of Minsk. If Minsk did not inherit the flaming red hair of his mother, or the bushy red beard of his father, why would the spawn of Baal inherit his wickedness? I have many more thoughts about beards to share. I did not know you cared to hear them.
Mother's milk, your visage speaks of ill tidings. Speak, ally mine. What troubles you? Is he indeed? Pray tell, what does he seek from Dame Aelin? Magicians and their machinations. I have had enough for an eternity. I will wring his neck until he's dead. Oh, his end will be one more strand in the great braid of our friendship.
I'm coming with you. I'd like to get a few licks in myself.
My darling, we agreed you'd scout for the nearest Selûnite enclave this very night. Let us divide our efforts. All the sooner to be reunited.
I won't let you go alone. Who knows what this wizard might have planned?
Our closest ally will accompany me, won't you? It will be a swift and fruitful chore. Hie we to this Lorroakan right away. I am as eager to meet him as he is to ensnare me.
Aelin left to face that wizard, Lorroakan, was it? Even after all she's been through, she thinks herself unstoppable, invincible. It all feels like recklessness to me. I hope you're right. He sounds like a vile, vile man. I'd have liked to get a few licks in myself, honestly. I wanted to help her, but she said she fights better when she knows I'm safe. I understand, I suppose. I feel the same about her. I'll rest a little easier if you do. You fought well against my father. I imagine a rat like Leroican will be nothing in comparison.
What have we here? A magician in a tower, hiding away from the frightening world. What are you so scared of, Magus? Not the Night Song, surely? Why, she's nothing but a relic to be purchased and pursued.
My God. The Night Song is a person.
At last. There you are, my dear.
You will address me with due deference. I am Dame Aelin. And you are a whelp without honor, without pride, with nothing but a tower full of trinkets.
Oh, my apologies, Dame Aelin. I meant no disrespect. I asked our mutual friend here to make an introduction that I might get to meet the famed daughter of Selûne. Forgive me for that impudence. Perhaps our friend can bridge the gap and do what I believe they came here to do?
Do not play. Do not jest. We have come to square off against an enemy most loathsome. So speak, O loathsome one. Give me one good reason why I should not cave your head into your neck.
Dame Aelin, I have discovered a device that would allow your immortality to be shared. It would cause you no harm, no pain of any kind. You serve your mother Selûne, I believe. She who has blessed our realm with so many gifts. Honor her by sharing yours.
You dare to threaten me with the same magic that held me in torment for 100 years? You do not seek to share my gifts. You seek to poach them.
I had hoped to appeal to your better nature. Perhaps I overestimated you. No bother. I have an arsenal of implements capable of convincing you to see reason. A pity you didn't prove a more reliable ally. You could have reaped the rewards of my good favor. I'd hoped you to keep an open mind, but it seems you're determined to make this as difficult as possible.
Master, let us show these amateurs the price they pay for challenging real wizards.
I have great plans for you, Dame Aelin. And if you will not go quietly, then you'll go kicking and screaming.
Magicians and their plans for Dame Aelin. Predictable, sadistic, flaccid.
Myrmidons! Imperatum!
Butt kicking, for goodness! Who breaks the hearts? Minsk breaks the bones!
Inveniam Via!
be hurting for long.
You point, I punch.
I must heal.
Weep if you wish. Minsk will not judge. Who is napping? Should die in silence, evil! It is best to hold my wounds closed, but some healing might help.
Frontem la fides.
What path lies before me?
But kicking for goodness! wounds closed, but some healing might not yet.
Step by step.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Leroican. You who would see me caged. You who would purchase my submission with profane gold. Let every wicked magus, every vile murtherer, each slaver and misery merchant see. Dame Aelin is watching. She is indomitable. And when her face lights the shadows of your wrongdoing, you are broken by its beauty. The Firehead Fool is dead. Yet as I stare upon his corpse, I feel... sadness. Why? A gripping in the chest. As though I'd lost someone. Something. Paladin's fatigue, no doubt. You were excellent in battle, as is your way. And I am proud to fight at your side. I will catch my breath, then to camp I will bring my bones. Moon Maiden be with you. I will return to camp shortly. I just need a moment to...
Welcome, dear patron, to Sorcerous Sundries. I am an unperson in service of the revered wizard Lorokin, proprietor of this fine establishment. To browse our wares, say trade. To provide information about the Night Song, say Night Song. If you are a city official here to collect dues, say taxes. For all other inquiries, say other.
You might want to be careful. I've heard it's not all love for customer service.
Stories! Get them right here!
Moon Maiden, hear me. Protect the woman we both love so very dearly.
Oh, that move! The wizard's twiddly little spell fingers availed him little against Dame Aelin's anger. But that anger sours into something gloomier, I think. Go comfort her, Boo. I can ask Aelin to demonstrate her skills another time. You come to speak of the last time Minsk stood watch? The snoring, it was Boo. Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the Ballspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums, the next, ambush! Then Minsk and Boo woke on the wide, with stone dust in sensitive places. the mind of Minsk was occupied with important matters. I was browsing a slum vendor's stall, looking for Boo's favorite nuts. And then, I was stolen. For Minsk, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then it is now. I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. And the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsk and Boo will not rest. We have! Is it not wonderful?
New cards are drawn, new hands are played, newcomers place
There is no need for sweet words between companions such as we. Too often those are the weapons of flatterers and frauds. But she who will beat you about the head with the cold and pointy truth, that is a true Wicklaren. So, duty, camaraderie, help in troubled times. What I call the bond of a Wicklaren, you simply call friendship. I think I understand your meaning. Then Jaheira is my Wicklaren. And so are you. You are my Wicklaren. And Will is my Wicklaren. And Lae'zel is my Wicklaren. And Astarion is my Wicklaren. And Gale is my Wicklaren. And Shadowheart is my Wicklaren. And Halsin is my Wicklaren. And Karlach is my Wicklaren. Or, no, Karlach is a berserker, so perhaps Minsk is her Wicklaren? My thanks to you, Wicklaren. You have given me much to think on. And should some enemy knock it loose again, Boo shall remind me. Truly? But you have seen my hamster, yes? Here we stay, then. But if Boo grows restless and chews holes in all your delicates, you only have yourself to blame.
Leave Aelin to her sorrow. Likely the wizard only reminds her of all the other fools past and present who have sought to use her.
Speak to me, lover. Then you'll have me. Lead on. Let's talk.
All's well, I hope? Aside from the obvious.
Is something burdening you?
I don't get it. What's got Dame Aelin so down? I, for one, am delighted Lorroakan got what was coming to him. Believe me, I plan to revel mightily once I've finished with Gortash. Hopefully, Dame Aylin will be back to herself by then, so she can congratulate me on a Merthera well broken.
I expected Nightsong to be overjoyed after killing her fair-haired fool. Instead, she just seemed tired. No, I don't think that's it. She probably just needs some time for it to sink in. I'm sure she'll be elated soon.
Dame Aylin has little to feel sorry about. The Roakan would have inflicted a far worse fate on her given the chance. I regret many things in my life. Choosing to be here, intact and unexploded, is not one of them. For now, to have a few more days in your company, no. I wouldn't change a thing. I've often asked myself the same question, and never really found a satisfactory answer. You clearly see something in me that I can't. The wisdom and intelligence required to overcome almost insurmountable odds, perhaps? Or the stupidity required to attempt it. I take it as a compliment either way. You don't get to be 13 centuries old without becoming a sound judge of character. And cheese, apparently. Of course.
What's on your mind? Fuck yes.
Ah, ally mine. We are reunited once more. I was just regaling sweet Isabel with tales of our prowess.
Very impressive. Thank you for helping Aylin. That wizard sounded absolutely dastardly.
There are always more bastards behind bastards. But we will run through them all, each by each. Enjoy the spoils of your victory. Spin memories of Leroican's death in your mind like silk floss. My darling, we must inform our friend of our news.
Indeed. I've scouted a Selûnite enclave outside the city. They faced the Absolute's armies and come out battered and bruised. Aylin and I will go to them, provide what help we can.
But fear not. When the time comes for you to face the foe of foes, Isabel and I will stand by your side.
We wouldn't miss it. Not for anything.
Go well, friend. We will see you soon. And with our great powers combined, this city will be saved.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Of course.
I had hoped there might be a greater sense of balance within the city. That its walls might enable sheltering within it to foster community, peace. Yet it is not so. Unnatural steel beings patrol the streets. The printed word sows discontent, and those in need are treated with disdain. Is this truly what progress looks like? Sometimes it is difficult to see exactly what we are fighting to save here. Sometimes it feels like Korga was right. Nature can only survive away from all this. I do. But at times like this, it can feel like an impossible dream. I was harsh on myself before. On my leadership of the Grove. The decisions I made. Perhaps too harsh, considering this place.
That's just a... The Steel Watch don't need to talk. They're guards.
Afternoon. Greetings, child of faith. Be welcome to the Stormshore Tabernacle. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day? Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls. I am Vicar Humbletoes, guardian of the Stormshore Tabernacle. I keep the peace in this sacred place and guide those in need. Of course, my child. Within limits. Behold my wares.
Tempers are rising. It's clear not everything you find is at your disposal. There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Go on then, Gale. We'll be here waiting for you when you're finished.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Not the message one hopes to receive from a past lover. But her first love was always the weave. At best, I was a close second. When I pictured this moment, I thought I'd feel more in control. Yet, here I am, with palms sweatier than a bugbear's armpit. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mistress show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite Weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite Weave.
You can no more control the Karsite Weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
Back on mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw her. After all this time. Relieved. Drained. Proud of myself for summoning the courage to go to her in the first place, and, if I'm being totally honest, a bit lightheaded. As if it wasn't enough to have seen her again. She didn't exactly summon me there for small talk. The Karsite Weave. Within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? But I should have known. What right had I to go about declaring myself an archmage when I was as foolish as a common apprentice in setting such an entity loose? At least now I'm armed with the truth. And Mistra's expectations. Sounds like the door to redemption is open at last. All I have to do is walk through it, carrying the crown of Karsus. Wow, what's a ginormous elder brain once you've grappled with your own crippling anxieties? It will be quite something. To wake up in the morning without regret. And live each day knowing another will follow. Like as not. To be rid of the orb. And perhaps claim back what it took. To be me again. Thank you. There aren't many I'd trust to stand beside me on such a journey. Fewer still who would do so because they believed I deserved such a chance. If I could promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down.
You see an altar dedicated to Tyr. Tyr, the blind god, offers justice to all, innocent and malefactor alike. The law dictates what is right, be that reward or retribution. Your knowledge of religion isn't extensive enough to tell you more. You see an altar dedicated to Helm the Vigilant. Helm the Watcher is a guardian god, dedicated to the preservation of order. Many turn to him in troubled times. Your knowledge of religion tells you nothing more about the worship of Helm. This altar isn't dedicated to a single god, but instead acts as a conduit to many. Your god is one of many, and in this place you sense a spark of its mighty divine flame. It reads, "Show your devotion with an offering in your god's name. Blessings may follow." The gods are ready to receive your donation. You see an altar dedicated to Mistra. Mystra, mother of all magic, is the patron of wizards and often called upon by other spellcasters as well. She's said to be a jealous goddess. Even though you do not follow her, you feel her power resonating from the statue. She is the one true spell at the heart of all spells. The weave could not be in better hands. You see an altar dedicated to Selûne. An inscription reads, "Let all who worship the changing tides of life and knowledge feel the blessings of Selûne. Trust in the purity of my light. See the constancy in its inconstancy, and you will be guided aright." Your scholarship of religion tells you no more.
It's a shame. Edvard used to do such a...
I stay for a walk.